can I tell you that just the fact that there is a Black History Month and there is a Women's History Month says something very significant about the role that we play in society, particularly in light of the fact that there is no white man month, there is no man month. And so it clearly says something about how society has diminished the value of both Black people and women in decades, over decades, from a historical perspective in this country. And so at some point, somebody woke up and said, oh, wow, we gotta stop doing this. We gotta really honor these people who are putting value into our society, meaning Black people and women. And so I think it speaks volumes to the fact that it happens. And quite honestly, you can't put it all in one month anyway. It's a 12-month event. Women are always engaged, always participating, always providing leadership, always moving things forward, much like Black people are always doing it. And by the way, at least women get a longer month. Black people just get 28 days, sometimes less. But I say that in jest, but fact of the matter is that we're very important parts of this society, and we should be honored. The Y has always been in my life. Not just the Y on Emsley Street, because as you know that, I want to say I probably had moved from Emsley Street as an adult by the time that Y was built. The Y that I grew up in, going to events at, was on Michigan Avenue. It is no longer there, but you may know the history of the fact that the Y was designed by the first African-American who graduated from the UB School of Architecture. I want to say his last name was Mr. Gates. And the significance of not just him being the architect, the first Black architect in Buffalo, to have designed that particular YMCA, is that it was mostly people like me who used it. I mean, we walked up there on a regular basis with my two brothers. There were all sorts of events, youth activities that we participated in there. And then while in high school, I spent a lot of time at the Y on East Ferry Street, which is where we used to have high Y dances. I don't think they do high Y dances anymore, but they were dances that brought young people together from different communities, albeit, east side of Buffalo, but from different communities. And we just had little parties with adult supervision, and everyone had a good time. So from, my perspective, from the time I was a young person at the Y on Michigan, to the time I was in high school at the Y on East Ferry, to the time I became interested in running for office and the Y on Franklin, which was the YWCA, when they actually organized themselves into training women to run for office right out of that YWCA on Franklin Street. It was a big operation. They trained not just candidates to run as women, but they trained people to be campaign managers and treasurers. And so the Y has always had an integral part of my life, and I think in most people's lives who live in and around the Western New York community. Well, I'm going to say something that I said yesterday on the floor of the legislature. When I opened the legislature, I'm really honored to be the majority leader, by the way. So I have the opportunity to command what's said there first in the chambers. And so I used that time to use a quote from anyone, somebody dead or alive, that says something that is significant, I think, to bring value to people's lives. And yesterday we quoted Andre DeShields, who is a Tony Award Broadway actor. And the thing that he said that was really striking to me, and I think is important for other people, is, we should really surround ourselves with people who get excited when they see us, and not people who shun us when they see us. He didn't say that part. He said, surround yourself with people who are excited when they see you. He also said that success, well, I'll say the last one first. He says, when you get to the top of the mountain, it's the bottom of the next mountain, so just keep climbing. And I think that if people kind of live by those sort of models, you're gonna be successful at whatever you choose to do. And you always have to be bringing somebody with you. You cannot just lift yourself. If you're just lifting yourself, believe me, you're not going far. But when you bring others with you, you'll go far. It's simple, it's lift as we climb.